So I'm here today with Cliff Biggers, and I just want to say thanks, Cliff, for you being here with me. Cliff, just so you know, was a pastor for 29 years and also a police officer for 25 years as well. Now, Cliff had a very special relationship with my dad, and just anything, Cliff, you want to say as a way of introducing yourself, and also maybe something about my dad as well.
All right. Well, Tom, thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it very much. Just to add a little bit of my background, I've been married for 42 years. I have 5 children, 7 great grandchildren, and I think I have 6 now great grandchildren. So
Amen.
time
Awesome.
is passing on.
Yeah.
But I first met your dad in the early 90s, and I was a part of a prayer service that we were having on the square in Newark.
Yeah.
And I watched him send someone over to Wendy's to get a bucket with water and a towel. I said, what is he doing? Then he called me down front. And this is the first time I met him. He called me down front and says, brother, do you mind if I wash your feet? As Christ washed the feet of the disciples? I said, absolutely. And that was such a special moment. My mother was in the audience, and she was with us at that time. And it was just a special moment over the whole audience when he did that, a commitment of service. That's what it was. And we were friends from then on.
He always spoke about you in such glowing terms. He loved that friendship he had with you.
Absolutely. He was a good man.
Yeah. Thanks for being here again today. I appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.
You know, Cliff, the whole world watched on video as George Floyd lost his life. And I know it impacted me to watch that video in a very serious way. And I'm just wondering how his death has impacted you and your congregation, those that you're leading.
Well, Tom, being a former police officer for 25 years, it was very disheartening for me to see that, to see men in blue doing what they were doing in broad daylight, hearing this man ask for and begging for his life, calling for his mother. I mean, that was a very sad case, and we see what's happened since that time, but no one deserves any treatment like that. I don't care if he was robbed a bank. No one deserves that kind of treatment to take a man's life.
So, Cliff, looking at the state of our nation right now, we're seeing the protests that are happening and we're seeing the things that are going on. I just would love to hear from you your thoughts about how should the church respond to all the things that are happening and that are going on, and are there steps that you can envision which really could end some of the racial divide that we see in our nation?
Well, Tom, I think the church should take the lead on this. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they should be called the children of God. We are the called out ones. We are called to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ, changing lives. Race relations is a passion for me because I understand that there's only one race, according to Acts 17. From one blood he made every man. And we've made it a color issue, and it's not. We're all related. We all belong to the human family, and because of that, we're not all equal in talents and gifts and time, but we are equal in value.
Amen.
And God is the one that gives us our value. And everybody has value. So I'm hoping this is an opportunity that people will take, and the church will take the lead on this, to lead by precept and example, that race is it's a concept. It's an illusion. It's not real. Of course, racism has come out of that. But I believe that racism starts with one person at a time. If that person's heart and mind can change, I think everything's available to them to change.
Absolutely. So the last question I have for you, Cliff, for today is, how would you envision Spring Hills taking some active steps that might be steps for good in this situation in this time? You probably don't know, but I've called the church to pray and fast and pray on Friday of this week, just to spend time praying for all the issues happening in our nation. So how might you instruct us, just from your perspective and your background, on what we might do to affect the situation?
I'm glad I like that question because we did something about it several years ago. In 2008, we closed our physical doors and we went and visited another church, our congregation, that didn't look like us. And we've been invited back several times because of it. You know, if it's one Lord, one faith, one baptism, then we ought to take the lead on doing those kinds of things. So we call it Mission Sunday. The whole church doesn't have to go. You can take a delegation one Sunday. We did it usually on Fifth Sunday. But if you really want to meet somebody, meet them. If you really want to know somebody, know them. Spend some time with them. Have a meal with them. Not to change them, but just to let them know that we're more alike than we are unalike. And because of that, I think Jesus Christ has given us that opportunity in the 21st century because he's on his way back soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Amen. And I do want to just say, and I know you agree with me on this, that really the only solution that we see is Jesus Christ.
That's correct.
It is God's Son who he sent, who died, who rose again, that comes into our hearts to bring true reconciliation and healing in every way. So we just want to profess that together, that the only real solution is Jesus. But I think worshiping together, praying together,
Yes.
what a wonderful way to
Having a meal together, playing sports together, getting together and doing things. You find out more about a person when you spend some time with them versus what someone says or what you read. And I think the church has been given this opportunity to take the lead on that. Go ye therefore into the world and make disciples.
Amen.
That's what he called us to do.
Well, let me say again, Cliff, thank you so much for coming, for being here, and just making this video with me. God bless you, and God bless your family and all that you do. Thank
Tom, thank you for having me.
you. Yeah, absolutely.
God bless you, brother.
You too. Thanks.